We cannot come to save you. If you are looking for us to save you, what just happened?
That door just opened on its own.
Uh-huh. What?
They're letting us know that they're here.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay. That just happened. That just freaking happened. What the fuck was that? Sorry, like, holy shit.
Dude, my last trip.
Buckle up. Welcome back to Dude My Last Trip, a podcast about DMT. I'm Melisa. I'm here with Rory and our incredible mentor, Kirsten Rhode of Psychic Babes. Kirsten is an epic, amazing, life-changing mentor. She's a DMT facilitator. She is an oracle and an avatar healer. And we have the most amazing topics that we're going to be diving into today. But Kirsten, welcome to the show.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I was so proud of you guys when you put this together, and I was just like so honored to be a guest on the show and share my experiences and my experiences with you guys. And yeah, so thank you for having me on.
We're so excited to have you. I just get all the warm and fuzzies when I see you guys together and when I just think about our group, because like one of the beautiful things about DMT, and I think we mentioned this on another episode, Rory, is just the way that it just puts you in like such alignment with your highest self. And when you are in alignment with your highest self and your consciousness is expanding, like your vibration raises so high that you just attract all of this soul family to you. And it's always been such a like a longing of mine to have the level of depth and connection that we have in this group, that we found each other. And it's just so beautiful how DMT brought us all together.
Yeah. And it was funny because I was told this years ago, you're going to find these people, this group that is going to literally change the world. And I was like, well, what? And so, I mean, I trusted it, but I was like, what's that going to look like? Right? Like, I'm just going to find these people. And it was like, yes, you will. And you'll find it on TikTok. And I was like, oh, yeah. And all of you guys came to me through TikTok. And I was just like, what?
That was the very wild experience for me. And just getting, for me to overcome a fear, just to even be able to post on TikTok, and that this is what came of it, is just proof of how this medicine works. Like, they told me I needed to form a TikTok too, and then kicked me out of the space when I didn't do it for almost a month. So they were serious about it, and just as they promised, it's changed my entire networking and people who I network with.
Yeah. And we've had this.
Who would have thought that the highest intelligences and the most advanced beings in the multiverse are playing with the TikTok algorithm to bring us like silly humans together?
No, they've also shown me that they also connect with cryptocurrency and things like that. And it's all part of the same sort of thing, that they are working in those realms. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Kirsten and I've been working with Kirsten for a year now, actually, a year in October this month. And like I shared before, my introduction to working with Spirit Molecule was really special because I had never had any other psychedelic experience before DMT. So I went from zero to infinity. But it was just a calling. Like, there was just something, I don't even know why, because I'm not someone who like obviously ever like did psychedelics or was even very called to exploring them. But for whatever reason, I felt like I needed to work with Kirsten for DMT. And so like where most people I think kind of have do DMT and they have these crazy breakthrough experiences and it's just so wild and unpredictable. I was actually introduced to working with it through a very intentional, highly reverent, ceremonial um, space and forming a relationship with DMT. Like I have a relationship with DMT. It's a co-creation. It teaches me things. I meet it with the highest level of integrity and it meets me there. So I'm very blessed that I was able to learn that right off the bat. But Kirsten, tell us a little bit about like the work that you do with DMT and facilitating and guiding others.
So DMT loves to give me this statement, and it's like, if you want a one night stand, I'll give you that. Like for sure, it'll be a wham bam, thank you, man. But if you want a relationship, you want me to take you out to dinner, and you want me to like wine and dine you, I'll do that. And it does. It absolutely does. Like it doesn't take you out to dinner, but you get what I'm saying. Like it will show you the nuances, and it'll bring you in so beautifully. But most people think they have this one and done experience. Okay, I've seen it. Well, that's not the perspective that I work from, and you guys know that. It's I operate at the level beyond having the experience completely leaving the body, the blast off experience. We stay ever present in this reality so that we're coherent, we can speak, and then we can use that. And once people are trained how to work in this reality, in this space, which is kind of the in between, then we're able to bring back actionable data. We're remembering everything, because what happens when you have a blast off experience, yes, is it beautiful, it's magical, but you have a hard time bringing a lot of the information back. It's almost like a dream, right? But the way that we work with it is very intentional, that we stay ever present in this reality, and then we're able to see, experience, and then bring all of that information back to the real world and integrate it into our real life experiences. So when I started working with DMT, it was primarily by myself. So the molecule became my teacher, and then I worked with an amazing woman named Eve, who was my mentor. And she's from Brazil, and she taught me so many amazing things as well, and how to do these intentional things with it. And so she was more of not on the spiritual part of things, but she's absolutely an expert with DMT as well. But so I kind of did it my own way. Like we still work together once in a while, but like then I started doing it my own way, which was much more of a spiritual experience. And for me, that seemed to be the best way to do it. And they started then teaching me, I guess about 3.5 years ago, a console thing like kind of opened up, but it wasn't like a console like Danny Goler talks about. It was a console that like I had these tools for healing, and I could put these things on my fingers. And then let's say I had a woman who had, who was about to have knee surgery. And I said, hold on, just hold off. Let's see if we can do anything here. And so I put this thing on, then I can actually take cartilage from somewhere else and regenerate it, and then put it into the knee and build that up like a little webbing around whatever's going on, and then solidify that. Lately, they've opened up to me certain parts of gene editing, and I've been tested time and time again to make sure. They didn't open these things up until I was tested to make sure I wouldn't do something wrong, right? Like I wouldn't use it for anything selfish. So I always ask, okay, am I allowed to use it for this? And then they'll say, yes. And so it's funny because people are like, oh, can you teach me how to do this? I'm like, I wouldn't have the first clue right now. They said at some point, yes, but it's like you get to have a foundation, because I'm listening to my guides the entire time tell me, okay, no, do this, do this, do this. And I'll come up with words that, like when I started to work with my boyfriend, Jared, like, and he's an actual doctor of chiropractic, he knew exactly the words. And I'm like, oh, what is this word? He's like, yeah, no, that's a real thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, because I don't know these words. So it's just like, oh. And so then people were getting healed after 1 or 2 sessions of like crazy stuff. And I was told him, I'm like, I'm not healing you. I'm not healing you. You're healing yourself. I'm just the orchestrator of the energies, right? I just move the energies. And people are having these magical transformations. Bonnie and I worked on a woman who had stage 4 cancer, who she's now in complete remission. That's happened more than once. Worked with people who are going through Alzheimer's that are not there anymore, where they're at that stage. Work with people with PTSD, specifically veterans, who are also now doing good. They're out of that, fight or flight mentality, and they're very much in their embodiment of the divine, because most of them that I work with are men, right? In their embodiment of what they're doing, and they're very grateful for being able to get back to this point, because some of them that went to war, they didn't think that they were ever going to get away from this. This was like their last ditch before. I had one gentleman who was going to, he said, if this doesn't work, I'm leaving this earth. And I was just like, that for me was like, whoa, okay. And but thankfully, you know, he's still here and he's jamming. And there's just been so many things that I have so much gratitude to the molecule for teaching me these things, because I get to witness these people have these amazing transformations that I know wouldn't be possible without the molecule.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Absolutely amazing. This is like also why I'm not going to use the word need, because we're using conscious language, but this is why like DMT research gets to get funded, because of this incredible potential for healing outside the system.
Mhm.
When you talk about the console that opened up for you and those tools that you have and how you would put them on your finger and like move cartilage, this obviously isn't any type of technology that we have here on Earth right now. Where do you think it comes from?
So from what I understand about DMT, DMT is a technology that was given to us here by extraterrestrial beings. And once you decide to work with that technology in a very respectful way, you will get guides that come in and teach you certain things based upon what you would like to do with it, right? So I always wanted to be able to help others get out of pain, heal, be the best versions of themselves. So they began teaching that to me. And as far as I knew at that point, I was the only one that was being taught those kinds of things in that space. Now I'm sure there's many others doing it or learning some version of it. I'm just not aware of it. But then they started teaching me kind of how to work with the technology in a different way, how to change the reality around myself, and then how to change my internal reality to express it outwards. And so that can look like shape-shifting, that can look like changing the energy in the room, which kind of freaks people out sometimes when that happens.
I just witnessed this in real time, by the way, about an hour ago. So this is all 100% accurate and very true.
Yeah, and people, I'm sure people doubt before they work with it, and then it's like, yeah, like it's like anything. I wanted to be an expert in this, and so I was like, okay, and that requires working with it pretty much every day. Sometimes, I mean, I've done DMT over like 15,000 times now, in those 7 years, and that was required for this level of like expertise that I was going into, to learn how to do these different things, how to shift the reality around you. And then you and I started working with it consciously to develop a protocol to be able to take people to other planet systems, other spaces and place, time. And Rory's been along on these journeys, and we've had like up to 10 people in a group at one time going to literal places and seeing the same thing. It's not like, oh, I don't know, I'm seeing. It's like we're all seeing the same thing, and we can see each other in the space too. So that's wild if you think about it, because nobody has been able to do this since the times of like when indigenous people would go travel into space and different planets and things like that. And I don't know what molecules are. I didn't know what molecules they use or anything like that, but I was just told that they were the only other people to do this. And so this is something new that we're able to do. And I hope science will take a very serious look at it, because I can actually demonstrate, so can you, that we go into a container and with coherence, we do breathing protocols and things like that to establish coherence. And then we do very specific geometry. And then we get the geometry of the place that we're going to and bring a guide with us. And then boom, we're there. And we are bringing back actionable data of places we've visited, the beings that live there, which are always mind blowing to us, because it's like, oh, there's humans living here among these people. I mean, these are ants. Like, it's just wild to me. Like we went to Kepler 62F and found that there are beings that look kind of like us living there. There are beings there that look like, serpent type beings. There are like many, 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 and children. There's like starseed children beings there too. It's absolutely mind blowing. And how they power their planets. They're all using 0 point energy. They're all using these kind of devices that seem to, and they look kind of like octopi, right? And if you think of what an octopus actually is, it's a very intelligent being that is able to use multiple arms of awareness to bring in energies and things like that and distribute them out. And they have a conscious relationship with everything that they have. Versus on this earth, we're like, oh, electricity, we just turn it on. We don't think where it comes from. We don't care, right? Because it's not organic, right? but they have a conscious relationship with the beings that are doing that. And I think, to me, that's so, so beautiful, because they have such a respect, and we could learn so much from them, and we already are. And we're able to take other people there, and we have an astral travel course that's about to end this week, and then we're going to be doing astral travel part 2, where we will actually be working in more depth with different beings for certain periods of time, so we can actually learn from these races and hear their history, hear what they've gone through, hear about the true history of the wars and all of these other things that have happened from their perspectives, and then hopefully be able to put a whole sphere around it of what actually is the truth.
Yeah. And what a testament to the power of DMT itself, because obviously when we're doing our group journeys, we are all in with the molecule. However, when Kirsten and I teach our astral travel class, we have the majority of the group is not at all on the molecule. They're completely sober. They're completely, outside of it. And then Kirsten and I are transmitting the molecule through our vessels, through our consciousness into the group. And they then see the same things that we're seeing. They can see us in the space without ever having to actually experience the molecule firsthand, which is absolutely extraordinary.
Well, and it makes sense from a scientific perspective, because when you're in a group container together and one person ingests a carrier wave and then we project it out into the field, what it does is it opens up the visions more definitively to everybody. We're not projecting anything, oh, see this. It's more projecting the energy of the molecule inside the container, which then amplifies everybody's awareness.
So do you think everybody has this ability, and it's just kind of tucked away and forgotten and it just needs to be remembered? Or are there quote unquote chosen ones that are doing this?
No, I fully think everybody has the capability to. Now, there are some people that suffer aphantasia, but you guys know Brad of Arc. He doesn't really have aphantasia, but he does for right now because he's got this bubble around him. But he's even able to see. He's even able to see a little bit more and more each time. And my boyfriend Jared, who doesn't, he worked with the spirit molecule for a while, but he doesn't now. And when we all went in, Brad was blown away because he was able to pull him into the experience, and his visions got like much, much brighter. So so everybody has this capability, yes. But there are some people who have aphantasia that it might be a little bit more challenging for them to see, but that doesn't mean that they won't have other things like hearing, feeling. They will be more profound in those areas.
And I think it's important to not get so stuck on like, you have to see, it's like not everyone has the same gifts and abilities. And it's perhaps, I would even say likely that it's intentional if you are not seeing, it's intentional to amplify the other senses to help you, I guess, gain mastery over more awareness, more intuitive openness than just like seeing through, through the eyes and relying on one sense.
Well, and when we all go in together too, I've pointed this out, like you see a lot of harmonics and architecture, and I see a lot of beings, but I can't hear anything. So Kirsten's telling me what they're saying. It's like together we're forming just one full unit with all the abilities, but we each special in a certain area.
Mm-hmm. And everybody brings something to the table, which is really beautiful, because without everybody's gift, with everybody's gift, we then have a full 360 representation of what's really going on there. And that's magical in and of itself.
And would you say that like DMT, so this is an interesting like origin question. So it's like chicken or the egg. Is it DMT being intuitive, or is it that's like the natural pulse and harmonics of your oversoul stream? But like, how you said like DMT gave you this console for healing, and you're very drawn to healing and so serving the collective in that way. For me, I'm not so much about the healing. I'm kind of more on the other side, on the empowerment journey, on the sovereignty journey. I really love reality creation and how to manipulate and you know, timelines and identity and the fluidity of all of that, the malleability of that. And so like where you receive a lot of healing information and activation in the DMT space, I receive a lot of code. I receive a lot of architecture. I receive a lot of like, this is how it works. This is like the functioning behind timeline creation. This is how that happens, you know? And then Rory sees a lot of beings.
I
Rory's
does
very
drugs. I do
physical.
drugs. Yeah.
No, Rory.
Yeah, no,
Don't
he
diminish
gets to wait.
yourself.
Yeah, don't diminish yourself
He's
because
so powerful.
yeah, he is so powerful. And the things that he sees and the messages that he gets, it's like very clear to me, like, oh, he on a soul level, he already knows what he's doing. And he just gets to trust himself. And so he's definitely getting there. I mean, I've seen him grow leaps and bounds too. It was funny, like the first time after you had already worked with them, I got a message in my dreams. It was like, okay, you get to take Rory into Inner Earth. And I'm like, Rory, like this Kirsten, I don't really know me, but like I'm just doing what I was told. I'm supposed to take you here. And he was like, okay. And so we go in because I always say I'm just doing as I'm told. Like this is what, you know, because I trust my guides enough. And I also know if I don't do it, things go really wonky. So I'm like, okay. And then he got exactly what, you know, what he was supposed to get from that.
Yeah, anchoring my node in the crystalline grid. That was that one. That was that. And because that was after the Aeonic Loom, and I talked about being sick for a couple days after that, and it's because I wasn't balanced, I didn't have my energy. Now I'm able to, after doing that whole exercise and going into Inner Earth and all of that, now I don't have any of the energy drain that I had before, and it kind of increased my stamina into being able to doing longer sessions and probably unlock new areas of travel.
It changes your DNA. It does. Yeah. So, you know, everybody will learn how to do that in their own way. But like also I guide people through learning, okay, where are you pulling energy from? If you're pulling it from the ether here, that's not what you want to do because that will drain you. Ultimately, then you're recycling your own energy. Like that's kind of what Reiki does. And there's nothing wrong with Reiki, like on a certain level, but it can, there's already a lot of distortion when it was released, I think in ancient China or Tibet, I can't remember where that was from, but there was already a lot of a distortion there. So yes, it is a beautiful foundation. It can do a lot of things, but like we get to learn to pull from a higher stream, a higher galactic stream of information, so we're not burning ourselves out. Because the last thing we want to do is pull from our own energy somehow, and then because then you will be exhausted, and then that takes away from life force energy. So that's important that healers get to really ask more questions about where am I pulling this energy from? Where is it coming from? And that's what DMT taught me is like, whoa, you're not asking enough questions. Where is this? Where are you pulling your energy from? And I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that, right?
So much that we would not think about. It's such an expander, the DMT space, and the way that it changes your DNA, it rewires your brain as well to new ways of thinking and just such an expansive perspective on everything.
Yeah, and there's some interesting things that I'm working with right now on reversing aging, lengthening my telomeres. And I never tell people how old I am, but like if I told you, you would pretty much fall over flat because it's through this work that I'm doing is actually repairing all of these, you know, things in the brain and then giving more power to the mitochondria and doing these different things, which has a big effect on your life and your energy and your you know, your zest for life and your joy about doing different things. It truly, yeah, it's changed my life. It changed my life in so many ways. I think that. And yeah.
You've mentioned I mean, and there's so much that we can do with this medicine, with this technology, you know, reverse aging, building a universe, astral traveling, healing.
Remote viewing.
What's that?
Remote viewing.
Remote viewing. Yeah, like there's so much. Would you say that you have like a favorite type of experience that you just love the most? I mean, it's probably hard to pick a favorite because it's all so amazing, but is there something that you just find yourself coming back to over and over? It's like, oh, this is just the best.
For me, I love to go outside and watch what people turn into. I like to see, like I did this
That's
at
brave.
my high school. I did this at my high school reunion. Jerry, what are you doing? I'm like, it looks like a vape. I'm just going, okay. but I could see all of their like projections of who they are kind of overlaid on top of them. And I'm like, wow, this is fascinating. But then I also like to go do it in public, like in forests, at beaches. When I was in Hawaii, I saw so many portals that were open, and I was just like, wow, this is so beautiful. I saw elemental energies, fairies, things like that. I started working with an ancient Hawaiian guardian that, like I was told by my friend Kimo Kapano, they only really work with people that are of Hawaiian descent. So, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do anything wrong. And he's like, no, you've been invited to do this. And it was really profound, the things that they were teaching me. I mean, I was just blown away. So I learned something new every day, every time I go in. But my favorite things really are to do it with my eyes open, because then I can see my guides come into the room. I can see the energies in the room. I can see what you guys turn into when we're on the calls. And I can ask, okay, what's their higher self? And then see where that, what that looks like. And then I can see, okay, who are their guides? And they, they come in the room. I can show me where the blockages are in the body, and it'll literally show up.
Yeah, wow. That's my next edge, I think. I'm very comfortable with eyes closed. Eyes open is a little, that's an edge for me, but one that I get to kind of move through.
It is very interesting. We did an eyes open, and then I just did eyes open with Kirsten and got to see how powerful she is and what she could do in manipulating the energy. And then she made me parasitic free. We had some parasites or whatever. And then to actually feel that energy clear out of me physically, because it's like a low dose, we're looking at each other, and then like I could feel all of these things come out and then feel lighter and recharged and reinvigorated after. It's in a tribute to the healing capabilities of this.
Yeah, it's not just happening up here, like in the brain. It's actually happening in the physical vessel as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've seen stuff come out of people's stomachs, that there's like bugs coming out of people's stomachs, like literally like breaking through and coming out. And I'm just like, can you feel that? They're like, something's happening. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're releasing. Because a lot of us do have parasites and we don't realize it because of the food that we eat, right? So so there's a way to clear that with the molecule that is absolutely mind-blowing. Like Rory had them coming out of his eyes and out of his nose, and so I was clearing that, and he was clearing it as well. And it's just very powerful because you can feel that energy leaving. And some of them look like worms, some of them look like little bugs, some of them look like little slugs. It's very different for everybody. But to me, this is the safest way without taking something, because I don't like to take things, like unless it's like wormwood, something like that. But like, you can see in real time what is leaving the body, and that to me is it's like proof. Okay, and then other people can see it too, which is, that's the thing. It's like, if it's a hallucination, this is what I really want the scientific community, they get to look at, is it's because these are things that multiple people are seeing at the same time. This is no longer a shared hallucination, guys. There's not even such a thing as a shared hallucination, but this is really happening because we've got 6 people in a room all seeing the same thing. That's something we get to pay attention to, and science gets to look at, because I guarantee you, within our group, we have more knowledge put together. We have more wisdom, and that's not to toot our own horns. It's just because we spent so much time working together that we have real actionable data, and we can show you. It's not like it's like, oh, well, I don't know, just take my word for it. It's like, no, we've got data to show these people. So
yeah. And we don't even need to be in the same room. We can be on Zoom in different states, in different parts of the world even. And it's, time and space is nothing. It's not even real. That's the magic of this space. It's just puts you right back into oneness.
Absolutely. And then people being able to see their guides. I had one client who, her son died of, this makes me cry, of an overdose. And she got to see him in the space, and he came and talked to her for about 20 minutes and just said he was so proud of her, and that it wasn't her fault and everything. And that was so healing for her, because she was so lost for a long time after she lost him. And now she's doing amazing and jamming and living her best life. And she's got a connection to him anytime she wants.
That's so cool. I was curious if that was possible. I mean, I feel like nothing's impossible with DMT, but But yeah, wow, that's really beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not a medium, so I mean, but I still get mediumistic messages sometimes. But usually I'll just see where they're showing up. I'm like, okay, they're on your left side, right side, they're up here, down here. Usually children show up down here a little bit more. Parents are here, grandparents, and then great grandparents. But I was able to tell her, okay, he's right there. And she was like, oh, and then she saw him, and then she was able to sync and get messages from him. And then they also got to go on a journey where they rode dragons together and, in the astral. And it was very real. And at first she was like, am I just making this up? I'm like, no, sweetheart, I was able to see it. Like I knew this was him. And she was like, me too. She's like, I felt it. And then he told her something that really was profound, because he said, Mom, I wasn't made for this place. It wasn't for me. So I was ready to go. And she took that and said, okay, I get it. Because she's like, I know how hard this place is. Like, most of us don't want to be here. But
Yeah.
this choice to be here. So we get to be here, and we get to change it to make it a better place for all of us to live here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and whenever I'm in the DMT space, I'm like, oh, like this is what's real. This is what's true. And it doesn't that doesn't devalue or diminish anything about this human experience, because obviously we all chose to be here and have this experience. And it is what it is. We feel time. It feels more real than anything else until you have the experience of DMT. And it's just like, oh, okay, so that's just a life that's just like me, I don't know, pretending that that's real, but this is what's actually real. And like, I know I'm going to come back to this. And actually, not even that I'm going to come back to this, it's that I've never been separate from it the entire time. It's just like the illusion of separateness. It's pretty mind blowing the way DMT changes your perception and understanding and belief about what life really is and what reality really is.
And the thing with death too, it's this culture is so afraid of death and dying, and it's really just a transitional moment. The person is never gone. They're just in a different dimension. And with DMT, you can access that dimension and communicate with them. And that's a very beautiful thing. That really is very healing for a lot of people. And yeah, to know that person's always with you and that you will see them again and again and again and again. It's just a short time while we're here, right?
Mm-hmm. Short and so special. What are you most excited about in the work that you're doing now with DMT?
Um, for me, it's bridging the gap, hopefully with science. I would like scientists to reach out to me. I've already done a study that I think would blow their mind, where you take the molecule and you have somebody look under dark field microscopy at the blood cells. Then you smoke DMT and you see the blood cells go from like rouleau, all clumped up and everything, to completely healthy. And DMT told me what was going to happen. And I called this guy who does that dark field. He's like, no, there's no way this is possible. And I was like, can you just humor me? So he came over to the house, and then we did it on like 4 different people to have like a control and everything. And he was like, what? Like, this is not possible. I'm like, yeah. So these are the more of the things that I would like to work with doctors, with scientists. I'd love to be able to go into a operating room under fluoroscopy and be able to say, okay, there's a tumor, I can see it here. We're gonna, we're gonna get rid of it. Those are the types of things that I would love to do in the future, because these are things that I know I can already demonstrate. And then for them to see that in real time really will bridge that gap for them of like, this is real.
Yeah. It's crazy how we know this is true and real, and like we're waiting for the world to catch up, you know? It's weird to be kind of like ahead of it. Do you think that, we might see that within our lifetime, this lifetime?
Yeah, DMT has told me that that's the next evolution of this.
Yeah.
Is working with scientists and working with doctors and physicians. Mostly, I saw myself in an operating room doing energy work, and then being able to see how that completely, like, tumors disappear and things like that in real time.
I would want you in my operating room, that's for sure. Like, you're the boss. Do not cut anything unless you check with Kirsten first.
No, and I think it will change the way that we do medicine. Once we understand how energy works, because we know that this works. I mean, we've got on my testimonials many different testimonials from people about who were very, very ill and it's gone and things like that. And again, I'm not a doctor, so I can't diagnose or say anything like that, but by their own admission, the doctors were perplexed. So that's the next evolution. And if there is a doctor listening to this that is open to these kinds of things, these are things that we can demonstrate in real time that work, right? So that's yeah. So I do think we'll see that in our lifetime, actually, pretty soon.
Yeah, it's not just theory. It's not just theory anymore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then working with astronomers and working with people in the scientific community about understanding what is life beyond this planet, because a lot of people think, well, okay, there might be, but we don't know where, who, what, when, where, and why. And you know, in our groups, we've been to Mars, we've been to the moon. We know what is on the moon. We do.
Oh yeah.
We know what's on Mars.
We do.
We know what's on Kepler 62F. Okay, so these are real places. We've been to Lyra, we've been to the Concorde stream there, the Concordant stream there. We know what's there.
Egypt.
Yeah, Egypt. Yeah, you guys, we know what's there. We know how the pyramids were built. We saw it happen. Mm-hmm. These are things that that we can actually prove, because there's no way we just all had the shared hallucination of how it happened. Right. When we didn't have any idea of even what we were going into or we were looking at, and we're like, oh my goodness. Yeah.
And you know, a lot of the information that comes through in the DMT space is then verifiable when we go and fact check ourselves.
Yes, correct.
You know, how many times have we had a word come out, or you know, a story about something come out, and we go and we look it up and we're like, oh my gosh, you guys, that's actually real, that happened, or like this is an actual thing that, you know, like a term.
Well, and especially like I'm getting chemical compositions of stuff, and I have no idea, writing it down in the space and looking, is there any way this planet could be made of this chemical composition? And it's like, yes, actually, this is what, and I'm like, oh. And then, so I've gotten ones that I already know, science already knows, but then other ones that I'm like, this is what I've gotten. And it's like, and then you put it in ChatGPT, it's like, well, theoretically that would be plausible, because I'm just like blown away. But yeah, so I trust those things. Am I right about everything? Or are we right about everything? Of course not, probably, because our human perception comes in. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure with our group that we're able to kind of get the kinks out and kind of really get to just a neutral perspective, because that's what we do first. We neutralize our energy so that we don't come in with any perceived thoughts, and we don't project our impression of it onto the experience. And that's how we get a truly neutral perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's, I mean, lots of new things coming. I'm really proud of my friend Danny Goller doing his work with the molecule, with the laser. I think that's going to branch off into a whole number of different things. Really proud of like what Brad's doing, you know, getting all these different groups together. I'm so proud of what you guys are doing with this podcast and everything else. It's just really showing people, introducing them to both the funny stories and like the, you know, just what it's like to work with the molecule. Because nobody really has done that. Nobody talks about exactly like, oh, what it is. And people have these ideas, but they don't really know, oh, okay, well, when I'm new, this might feel this way or this might feel that way. And that's just such a genius thing to do, because of this podcast, people who, you know, are interested in it but want to know more will be able to come watch and understand then, oh, okay, this is, you know, more information about what I'm going to feel, what I'm going to experience, and then, you know, reach out if they're ready to work, you know, with these molecules on that level. Yeah.
Well, and I feel like so many people just have a one and done experience with it as well. I mean, even with ayahuasca, which is a pretty long experience, don't get me wrong, but DMT, a lot of people just go in, they think the idea is to break through. I was one of them for a long time. And then now that I've changed how I use this through my connections with Brad and Kirsten, now it's more of a tool, and I'm bringing way more back than I was before. So, but I also think the breakthrough doses also have their place. We were talking about this the other day. It's like my breakthrough doses are what healed me. And now that I'm coming in and I'm using it as a tool, I could do that because of the breakthrough doses I had, and all the trauma and the clearing and everything that it did for me.
Yeah, it is a better, for somebody who comes in with a lot of trauma, that is a faster way to do that. But like, with Melisa, we didn't do that with you till like, you know, later, way later on. And I think that was very beneficial and very healing for you to do. But like some of my clients don't ever have the desire to do that, and that's okay too. But yes, they are beneficial. Everything is beneficial in this space. It all has a place. But it's more helpful for me if you learn how to work with it in the microdose capacity, then do that, because you'll be able to bring more information back. Otherwise, it's like this where you're like, oh my gosh, I have the answers to all the universe. Wait a minute, I forgot. I think it's socks or something. It's like, what? You forget it all, right?
Yeah. It's so true, because working in the more liminal spaces in a more microdose capacity, it's like you're still there. Like so you're able to like learn, okay, this is what vibration looks like and feels like. This is what someone's energy looks like and feels like in this space versus, you know, just having a blast off one and done experience. You have no prior knowledge about what you're seeing, how to interpret it, what to make of it. So yeah, I think they both have merit. I didn't do my first breakthrough until almost a year after I had been working in the more liminal realms, and I didn't really have a strong desire to ever. Though the reason I did was just I felt like it was time, and I was ready to understand it, and it was more from less like it was less than I need to have a breakthrough, and more like I would like to understand what that experience is like. And then after I had it, I'm like, I'm complete. I'm good.
Well, doing that under a full moon is that's one of the most powerful things that you can do. The codes that come through from the moon and stuff are just, and so it takes a little bit more of the molecule in the system to be able to access that sort of where it's sort of like you have this meet in the middle experience of like just stuff being delivered, and then you start channeling all this information. It's really wild. So
that's really interesting. Let's double click into that, because like Rory has noticed he does DMT at different times during the day. Sorry, my cat. And at different times during the day, he has different types of experiences. And you just mentioned the full moon. So do you think that, you know, DMT is responding to things like moon cycles or times of day, or is it we are responding and DMT is working through our vessel in response?
I think there's different energies that come through at different times, like equinoxes, lunar cycles. There's a very real thing that happens at 3:33 a.m. and beyond with DMT.
Yeah.
That is progressively, well, like it's almost like you can be right there with them, and it's like right in front of you, or it's like mind blowing. Versus if you do it at like maybe midnight or something. But there's something very real. It's that liminal space 333. You go in at that exact time, and you're like, boom, right in front of like the Galactic Council. Like,
and it's clear as day too. I have many 3:33 a.m. journeys under my belt now, and sometimes I'll wake up, like they'll wake me up to hit the pen. Like all of a sudden I'm boom wide awake, and I know I need to hit it. And I'll try to argue or try to fight it for a little bit, but eventually it's just kind of the pressure to do it is overwhelming. And then a 3-second pull, or even I'll try to just, I don't want to go in all the way. I'll just do a little bit. Boom, too late. You're in. Like it's complete. The vision is clear. Everything is crystal clear. Like as I'm looking at you, like it's a different, it's not that traditional LSD looking place. It's like I'm looking outside clear as day, and that's the wildest part for me, and those 3 a.m. journeys.
Yeah, and they're different every time, but like I said, the thing with the full moon is very, very impactful for healing, for divine feminine frequencies to come through, and for beings specifically. It's avians, it's archangel frequencies that come through at that time during the full moon. That really are mind-blowing because you don't, like, there's no other time to do it that you can access those powerful frequencies and energies, and so those are wild to me. And then also if you do it in specific areas of land where the ley lines are, that's another thing. Like buckle up, because you will get very, very different interactions, and you'll be pulled into inner earth portals and things like that and go through the sky. And it's like you'll be transported from point A to point B. And that's very magical as well.
Do you think that could... Go ahead.
Oh,
Rory.
sorry. My moon experience, I saw not standard straight grid lines. I saw like travel points for what certain beings use to move around. And they were very dark and all connected. And so
that is what I believe is the E8 lattice, which is a concept in line mathematics and very advanced mathematics. And another thing that's very strange that happens to me, I get these very advanced formulas within math that I'm like, I have no idea what these mean. And then I give them to my friend Carolina, who then showed Adam Apollo, and he was like, this is very elegant. Like, this shouldn't work, but somehow it does. And I'm like, I have no idea. But like these math, like literally, I'm not a math person, you guys, but somehow I am. It opens up parts of your brain, like it just does. And it's like, now I understand all these high concept things in math. And I just know recursive, non-recursive spirals, like this density is all about recursive spirals, things that like keep looping back on themselves. That's why we keep looping here, right? Well, when you bring in non-recursive spirals that never loop back on themselves, but they loop out so you can learn new messages, then you can step out of the loop and you can then learn the higher vantage point of the wisdom that's coming through. So these are all things that like we're learning how to map these, and we're learning how to bring them in intentionally, so people aren't looping anymore. So
yeah, and it's kind of like the more willing you are to engage with this technology in this way, the more it will just continue to open up for you too.
I was thinking if you're open to it, maybe we should introduce the carrier wave to them so the audience can feel what that's like. So I was thinking we'll just step off camera when we do it, because obviously that would get flagged. And more or less people focusing on like what it looks like, but what it feels like for them. And let's project it out for calm and relaxing, and for people to, I guess, maybe witness that there's more than this.
Okay. Is Rory joining us, or is this?
No, I'm over here fighting with a coffee maker.
Okay.
It was out of water and I kept pressing the button.
Are you going to transmit, or is he just going to be?
Are you going to sit with us while we transmit?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I don't
think
mind.
That's a good idea.
No, Rory, stay.
Yeah. Come back. Sit right now. Stay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, the coffee maker's loud.
And he's like, the coffee maker's loud.
Okay, get your coffee first.
He was very kind. He's like fighting with the coffee maker.
I am fighting with this fucking thing.
Okay, maybe we just get to like let it do its thing. Shut the door, maybe.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a door.
Okay.
Okay, so okay, hold on. Well, let's center. So our intention is to project peace and calm and an awareness that there is, and tranquility, and an awareness that there is so much more to this technology and medicine.
That there's more to themselves.
And more to them, yeah, that there's more to themselves.
And everyone will experience this carrier wave differently. But I invite you to open your heart and allow it to open things up that you might fear, but just allow it to show you who you are. Now, many of you might say, what do you mean, who I am? Well, the molecule, the carrier wave, will show you, if you're open to it, different aspects of the self. That dance around. And in doing so, you get to choose who you actually are as a human. And you get to make that choice consciously.
I also feel like different energy centers in the body will show you different aspects of yourself.
Absolutely. And this carrier wave will open you up to new ideas, to new potentials, to new avenues for you that potentially weren't there before. And I want to invite you to listen to the carrier wave.
And feel and receive.
And grow. And this is the message that's coming through me right now from the higher dimensional being.
That door just opened on its own.
Uh-huh. What?
They're letting us know that they're here.
Uh-huh. Okay. That just happened. That just freaking happened. What the fuck was that? Sorry, like, holy shit.
Can't make this stuff up. Cannot make this shit up.
Oh.
Hey.
My God.
You. Uh-huh.
Guess that's some confirmation if there ever was.
That just fucking happened. Okay.
The entire time I was not looking at the screen. I was looking just above it. And then the second I looked at the screen, all of a sudden I saw the door just wow.
Whoa. Okay. What was I talking about that at that moment in time?
You were about
The
to share a message from a higher being.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. I see the black dude. I can see him over there. Like I see him up. Like I see him.
What do you see?
He's just a black dude. Like he's like wooga booga. I don't know. Like I'm not afraid of you. Like what are you doing, dude? Like cool. You look like void energy to me. You can't see him. He's like he's kind of dancing around Rory.
No, I was looking at something that was like in front of Rory.
Uh,
It's gone now. I think it was
No,
just
look.
energy.
No, yeah, no, look. Now he's putting his hand around Rory's head, like he's dancing with Rory. He's a dark figure.
I don't see it.
It depends. You'll see.
I see like something green flashing, kind of like over here.
Yeah, he has green eyes.
Mm. That's what I'm feeling.
Okay, he's putting his hand on your head. Okay, he's void energy. Hold on, let me ask, is there any lesson? Yes. Are you negative? No. He said you should know better to ask that question. Okay, makes sense. Are you bringing a lesson from the void? Yeah. Okay. So the carrier wave was definitely successful. Like I just want to say that.
Yeah,
That was very successful, and people got their own message, and it was fabulous.
that was insane. I can't believe that happened.
I can't believe we got that on camera.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was
That's going to be one of those
Allowed
clips.
that.
That's going to be one of the clips that it's going to go viral for sure.
I'm gonna fuck, I'm really feeling it. But I'm gonna splice that at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, like something like here's the experiences that happen, boom, and then we going into saying something really profound.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
When we were transmitting, oh, this is just really pretty. When we were transmitting it the first time, I was seeing like every time I would blink, it was just a huge lion.
I see Kirsten turn into a lion all the time.
Look at me now.
Oh, there's a crown on you. Like, and it looks like like what's that geometry shape? The stellated star, the 12-pointed star.
Uh-huh. Hold on, I can't see it.
It's gone now, but I saw it from it was there.
That was weird. I could like
It was just the most beautiful golden crown, and it looked like the 12 points of a star. It was beautiful.
okay, watch.
Okay, something's happening. Oh, wow. No, I'm seeing the crown. I'm seeing all these geometries around you. Uh-huh. Oh, wow. There is like something above, oh my gosh, like the most beautiful something above your crown. I I think I was seeing like different versions of you from past lives. Were you
Mhm.
doing, were you intending that?
Yes, kind of. But now I'm trying to access the serpentine, the reptilian energy.
It's an energy. Like I'm seeing the energy of it.
Hmm.
Mm. I'm coming out of it now.
Because that's the Sophianic one.
Oh,
That was
really?
that was the last one I oriented on. Hmm.
Yeah, it was just immediately kind of, it was like it was complete. And now it's all the way back. Wow. Holy shit, though.
In person, it's wild. In person, it's wild
Hmm.
Yeah.
because you could see all the grid lines and like all the
Mhm.
things like in the room. And as she's bending that, and like, she's projecting them, she was choosing the side that it would project out. The blue avian was the only thing that didn't come through very clear, but she started. That was like in the chin, like below the nose. The Lyran comes out as the most crystal clear, like
Yeah.
crystal clear.
Hmm.
When I was transmitting, I was seeing Lyran just
Yeah,
because it's like I'm transmitting, but I'm also I have awareness that I'm like having my own experience too at the same time. And it was just like lion. It was like a feminine lion face.
And I'm comfortable with all of this being released. Okay,
Okay.
like
Thank
because
you.
this is all stuff that gets to be like go away of like, oh, I'm so afraid of reptilian ships. What the fuck? It's all bullshit,
mm-hmm.
right? Like, okay, so like, yeah, so we just proved that we can all shapeshift, right?
What
Mm-hmm.
a gift this episode is, literally for anyone who watches it.
Oh, and everyone will watch it. Like, we're going to embed frequencies into it with DMT so that it does that.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question that kind of relates to it. Do you think, I know you guys transmit the carrier wave in your astral class and people are able to do it. Now, when you're doing your astral class, that's live. the people that watch this episode a year down the road or whatever, do you think that that is going to be cemented into the video as something that you'll always be able to see, or if they would have to be hitting the DMT to see Kirsten turn into a Lyran?
That's a great question.
Good question.
And we want to pose that to the audience, actually. What did you guys see, right? Like, what did you guys see and experience? Yeah, was there any fear around it, right? Like, at any point in time, did you feel scared, right? Because, no, like, the eyes are the windows to the soul. I have nothing to hide. Look in my eyes.
Beautiful eyes.
And you can see my heart. And you can see my intention. And my intentions are always pure. They're neutral for a lot of, and this is something a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah.
Because I don't sometimes feel things in a way that people think I should feel them. But it's not. It's just neutrality.
Yeah.
Because it's not helpful for me to go, oh, jumping into all this. That's not helpful. It's actually it's actually doing more disservice. So, that was a great question. I know that was a long roundabout answer.
It's the beauty of podcasts. We don't have to. Yeah, that's the point of long form, because these subjects are not easy to get out, and they're not easy to talk about, and they're not something that you could capture the attention of most people in 10, 15 seconds, unless you're already very curious, like I was with what I was going through. So it's definitely something that when we explore, it has to be long form.
It gets to be.
I think also, to speak to your question, Rory, it's like, because this is long form, the people that are actually sticking around for the whole, they're ones who are contracted to receive this information and to resonate with it. And time isn't real. I think that transmission that we did, it's beyond space and time. And I think somebody could find this video a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, and find value in it and have an experience, because this isn't real. The DMT that we transmitted, like that energy, that frequency, that is real, permanent, lasting, beyond time, space, dimensions, physical, non-physical. That endures.
It does. And the frequency, the carrier wave, will invite you to think beyond linear time space. It will invite you to understand everything is happening at the same time, all in all realities at the same time. And not invite you in a way to where it's overwhelming. Invite you in a way of going, okay, just be present in this moment.
And everyone's experience will be different. Some people maybe saw some things. Some people might feel things. It's unique to the individual.
And some people might see nothing,
right,
or experience nothing, and that's perfect as well.
Yeah,
that's perfect as well. And if you saw nothing, experienced nothing, we invite you to come back to it again and again until you, if you feel called, right? Again and again, and start to pick up on the nuances, because at some point you will experience something.
Yeah. The allowance of it is something a lot of us must practice and become learned in.
Get to practice.
Get to, yeah. Because our conditioning has put up a lot of blocks around that allowance to just receive and something that's beyond what you understand. So even to get up to that point sometimes takes some practice.
I love what you just said about receiving.
Thank you.
Just receiving right now. Just receiving what we just said, what Melisa so beautifully said. Just receive that and sit with it.
And so it is.
And so it is. And so it is.
Amazing.
Amazing. I'm so honored. Thank you so much. I am so blessed to be a part of this journey with you, Melisa. Like, you and I are sisters, soul sisters. I love you beyond everything, like I do. You are my, and I'm so proud of you for everything that you're doing. And Rory, you're my soul brother too. Welcome to this family, dude. We're in this together. As I told you guys, like, we're in this together. Yeah. And I'm so excited to see us all in Shasta. It's gonna be so amazing.
It's gonna be Shasta's gonna be one for the books.
Oh, one thing that they're telling me to talk about. So this gets to be like, if you want, on the podcast. Maybe not go into our reptilian experiences per se, like what we're doing in the training, but like maybe share what our experience has been with reptilians, so that it brings forth an energy that people are like, oh, maybe we've been told some lies.
Yeah.
So can we talk about that real quick?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Who wants to go first?
Rory, I think you should.
Okay. Yeah. So we just kind of started releasing that we're working with reptilians today. So
and let's speak about, you're working with the Alpha Draconians.
I'm working with the Alpha Draconians, and we've entered training with them, and I'm still adjusting to that. That's a whole new experience. They've been nothing but helpful in unlocking abilities within me that I didn't know I possessed or had. And they've tested me and made me stronger in this space and the astral realm. And they're based on mutual respect. And so far, none of that has been broken on either side. And it's been nothing short of amazing as far as the work that we're doing with them.
Yeah. And this is something, I guess, we'll talk about it more after we've been given permission to speak about it. But on this level, I just kind of maybe wanted to bring it in that what we've been told about reptilians, especially Alpha Draconians, not the truth. Yeah. They are not some evil beings coming after us. They don't, first of all, they don't care for most of us, because we are liars. What we do to our children, they think is absolutely disgusting. And you guys know what we're talking about. And they are beings of honor. And from what they've said to me, is most humans, they don't value their word. So we have all gone into this experience saying, okay, we value our word with you, and we show you respect, and they are showing us respect in a very beautiful way in return. And I'm just going to speak for myself. Some of the most powerful lessons I've learned have come through these transmissions recently of leadership, and also letting go of old things about myself not feeling worthy. That has really released in me, and I'm really like learning how to show up as the best version of myself without overpowering somebody, but with standing in my own beautiful sovereign nature. And that's because of them.
It's beautifully said. So my experience with these beings and this consciousness and this energy is I actually quite admire them. I've encountered several different beings, and I've never felt a power like theirs. And I come in to my understanding of reptilians from a very neutral perspective. I've heard all the rumors, I've heard all the like hate and all of the negative perceptions of them, and I always took it with a grain of salt because I had never met one. I don't know. And I always thought it to be very human to I feel the whole narrative, the current narrative around reptilian is to me very obviously a projection of our own shadows onto another, race of beings. And I think as we evolve as a collective, as we kind of move into this galactic version of Earth where we are interfacing with multiple different beings, like, I mean, I've shared with you guys, like, there is no timeline in which we are not working with reptilians and on here on Earth. And so it's just a matter of like, how do we get to do that? Are we going to do it from a place of fear and distortion, or are we going to do it from a place of neutrality and cooperation? And that's all I've experienced with them is a lot of neutrality, a lot of, willingness to cooperate, but also like I think I felt a little bit of like they won't work with just anyone. I do feel a lot of that, like they don't love humans, like just because of the way we are. Um, but it's an incredibly powerful energy. I feel very honored to have encountered them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that the old stories hopefully will be disseminated through us and through Anthony, who channels Kolosk, and a beautiful friend of ours who does amazing channeling work with them. Rob Gautier as well does amazing work in this field. But hopefully more people will listen and be open to it, because I can tell you I work with an earth reptilian energy. His name is Technata, who is very evolved, very gifted, and never once has he hurt me. Never once has he done anything strange like that. And he's been with me since I'm a child. And he, honestly, Earth was theirs. Like,
Yeah.
who are we? Like, it was theirs. Like, and they're not even coming back like, oh, this is ours. Like,
Right.
but like humans are like, this is ours, and they're just like, they laugh at us because it's like, whatever, dude. Like, they're so much more advanced than we are. But if we humble ourselves to be able to listen to the stories like that they passed through us, the truth is going to come into fruition. And a lot of the things that people think that, oh, the people are being run by these, like the governments are being run by reptilians. Mm-mm. Those are grays, sweetheart. Those are like absolutely grays, and there's a whole level of other stuff to it. But like, yeah, but they're actually just being run by their own stuff, basically, right? Like, but there is agreements that Eisenhower went into to allow the Greys, and they were told not to. The Nordics came through and said, "Don't do this," but we did, and therefore we suffered because we wanted power, right? Like, and so the reptilians are just looking at us like, "You guys are fucking idiots." Like, honestly, they're just looking back like, "Whatever." And I've asked them many times, like, why don't you come in and change the narrative? Like, because we don't care. Like, you guys, like, if you guys are interested, we will share with you so that other people can learn. But like, we don't care. Like, we really don't care what you guys think of us.
Yeah.
Right?
I think is like maybe part of the bad reputation because I think a lot of people are seeking that love and light and like, oh, like only pure source, and a lot of people are averse to even looking at their own shadows, and there's just so much layered to this conversation that feeds into what the current narrative is and why, and I think we get to be part of bringing a different perspective. No one has to agree with us. We're just offering a different perspective and our own experience.
But also, Melisa, we're experiencing real things with these beings, right? Like it's
Yeah.
not that people don't have to agree with us, but
Yeah.
but we are actually experiencing this. So we're bringing back data.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't have to agree with us, but we actually have actionable data. So you
Yeah,
get to
true.
listen, right? Like you do get to listen because this is real. And
That's true.
maybe, and it's not being formed through our own lens. It's like they're telling us, right? Like they're telling us exactly the way it is.
Yeah.
And so, and we were even being tested with our group, remember?
Oh my gosh.
That was me and Melissa's
I
first
forget.
Mhm.
We're not done, by the way. That was just round one of testing.
No, yeah, and we're not done, but yeah, they tested us on so many levels, and it was like this was
Yeah.
the self mastery, and that's what we're learning from them. And they may not express love through like, oh, I love you. They don't do that, but they express love in a way that is like, I am integrity. I give you my word, and I honor that. And to me, that's German mentality. I'm like, oh, I love that. Like I
Yeah.
would be down with that all day long.
I love it because I respect them because they challenge us and they challenge me. A lot of the other beings that I've encountered don't necessarily challenge us, they're there, they're wise, of course, they're loving, but I mean, even just in my real life, like I like people who expand the boundaries of my world and my perception. I like people who cause me to think deeper and rise into a higher version of myself. And as triggering as it was to go through that like round of tests that I went through with them, like I became a more sovereign version of myself. And I thought I was sovereign as hell before. So I respect the hell out of them in the way that like they may not love all humans, but like the ones that they do choose to interface with, like it's not passive, it's not surface level. It's going to make you a better version of yourself if you're willing to meet it with that level of integrity and openness and willingness.
And I think that goes deeper into a cultural thing of things that we're afraid of. And I understand that this is something that we're asking for you guys to really dig deep. But we can all share our experience that this has made us the like wow, like very quickly was it like okay,
Very
we are
quickly.
learning lessons like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it's a very fast track experience. And I came in it with just a very neutral, I didn't know much. I've heard of the reptilians. I've never met one, never encountered one before this. And then they started kind of coming to me, and then we did our journey after. I was like, oh, well, why did you pull me in the other night? And that's kind of how this whole thing kicked off, is that they seek you out, you don't really seek them out, and they kind of make sure you're worthy. They know what's going on. They're yeah,
They know
like
they know every single thought. They know all of that, like just boom. Okay, but if somebody wants to, if somebody in this, like you're listening to this and you have a desire to be a better version of yourself, you can certainly ask them. Earth-based reptilians or alpha draconians that are neutral energy. I have an interest of learning, and they'll either show up or they won't. And if you should, I mean, like you are honored if they show up. Honestly, like that's the way that I feel. It's like it is a next evolution of yourself, where if they show up to work with you, it is very like that is honorable, like because they they look at us in a very gross. You guys are you have so much to do and like so much to heal. It's just like blah, that's not our problem, right? And some of the other beings, like so the way that I see it is always this, like if a blue avian came in, and if I got myself into a bad situation, a blue avian would be like, this is a reality that you created. And they would watch me die. That's because that's what would happen. They'd be like, this is a reality that you created for yourself. You're co-creating this reality. We love you, but that's what happens, right? Okay, reptilians come in and they will defend you if you are in the right. Okay, if you are in the right and you are operating in integrity, they will come in and decimate the situation for their family.
Oh yeah.
That's the difference. That's the only difference that, well, not the only difference, but that is one of the most important differences in who they are, right?
And I think that's a testament to like the fact that they are very choosy about who they would interface with, because like not everyone is ready to have that level of power behind them.
And to hold it in a way that isn't dominating to anybody else.
Right.
Because a lot of humans will mistake that power and then they will project that onto others. And then you see what happens with the control structure of people trying to control people. They're not interested in doing any of that anymore. So it's like not anymore, because they have actually learned, they've worked with people in the past, and then it's like created the structure. And so they're like, nope, that doesn't work. So this is right. So that's that level of power. But then bringing it through and realizing that there's nothing to be powerful about. It's just being powerful in your own sovereignty.
Yes. I love that. Being powerful in your own sovereignty. Yeah.
Wow, this has been so magical.
This was so great, Kirsten. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your soul and your wisdom and your expertise and your just amazing energy with us. Like, it's always so beautiful to be in the space with you, to just be in your energy. I'm so jealous Rory gets to be with you IRL, but we'll meet soon.
Absolutely.
So
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Not long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
coming up really quick.
It was so cute. Seven, she's like, oh, Rory. I'm like, you will relax. Like it was so cute. But yeah.
okay, so Kirsten, tell everyone, first of all, I would like to tell everyone, if you guys are curious about working with the spirit molecule at this level, in this way, there is no one else I would recommend on earth than Kirsten. Like, she is the most patient, true teacher. She holds such a sacred space. I've never felt safer. I've never felt like more held, more permission to not know, permission to like, like she just is such a gentle guide and teacher. And working with DMT, the way that she taught me has irrevocably affected my life in the very best way. And so if you guys are feeling that call, and DMT does call you, Kirsten is the number one person to go to. So Kirsten, where can people find you if they want to learn more?
You can email me KIRSTEN at psychicpsychicbabes.com, psychicbabes.com. And then my TikTok channel is at Psychic Kirsten, PSYCHICKIRSTEN. My Instagram is also the same, Psychic Kirsten. And then our YouTube channel is SevynoftheStars.
Amazing. And we'll link all of that in the show notes for you guys, so you have a direct link over to her.
And thank you so much, like Soul Fam. I love you guys.
I love you guys. Thank you. We'll see you on the next trip. Buckle up.
Buckle up.
Buckle up.